In any case, Konami wanted to do their own Night Trap. They're like, wow, this is the future of gaming, full motion video. This is crazy. We want to make our own version, and we're going to release it worldwide, including in the West. But they deemed it too difficult. They were like, oh, they looked into it. They looked into what Night Trap did, and they were like, wow, that is way too much work.
I think this is a really interesting moment in video game history, and it's such a weird moment that Snatcher is crystallized around, because I feel like for such a long time, and probably still there's echoes of it today, where there's this conflation of the graduation of video games is to enter the space of photorealism.
Mm-hmm.
And the most obvious way to do that was to actually record artists, record actors, just like in film, just like in movies. So I think it's so cool to see that in the 90s, really early on, very early video game developers were trying to bridge this gap towards photorealism, and graphics were nowhere near close enough, but we had film and
Mm-hmm.
we could replay film on digital devices. And in that same era, we're coming out of the 70s and the 80s. This is the early 90s when Night Trap comes out. So we're coming out of the 70s and 80s of all of these auteur filmmakers who proved that you can have unbelievable, substantial works of art in film that are also, popular. They have wide
Mm-hmm.
appeal. This isn't watching, the seven. Oh my god, I'm gonna like show my ass here. It's like it's not like watching like old black and white film like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari or something like that, or The Seventh Seal. This is like The Godfather. This is
Mm-hmm.
like Apocalypse Now, Stanley Kubrick, Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese. All of these artists came out of the the 70s and 80s, and they were these geniuses. They were these film school kids, and we see this space where video games are really interested in figuring out what they are. And I don't think that I think there were some people like Hideo Kojima, oh my god, I can't think at all tonight, Fran. Who did I really feel like I'm showing my ass. Who did Mario?
Shigeru.
Dude, I couldn't think of Shigeru Miyamoto. I am so sorry, listeners. I have a video game podcast and I forgot Miyamoto's name.